With me now is Jaclyn Wilson up here on the RanchHER, FarmHer stage at NCBA. We've been kind of talking all things cattle and the business, agriculture, you name it, specifically focused on females. But tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, and how you got into the career that you're in today.
Sure. So I'm a fifth-generation cow-calf producer from Western Nebraska. Our family homesteaded there in 1888.
Wow.
I returned home to the operation in 2002, and at that time joined my dad and my uncle. Since then, we've gone through succession. My dad and I are full-time partners in our operation, and then I started getting involved in the cattle industry from a very, very early age in terms of the policy and advocate side. And that's continued on to, I currently serve as chair of international trade for the National Cattlemen's, and so it's been a crazy convention here. But I think advocacy and the policy development especially are things I'm very, very passionate about.
How important is it for young women to kind of take on that role and really step up to the plate or have a seat at the table and advocate for this industry?
I remember we would have this conversation multiple times during convention, and I remember when I first got involved and there was hardly a female in the room, and now you look around and it's so exciting for me and invigorating to see all these young females and females stepping up into leadership positions, and it's heartwarming in a way. And I think that's going to continue to be more and more important. I mean, females are, I think they're the future of the industry for sure. Not only those that maybe are wives or spouses or parents, but it's those younger generations too, or, myself. I'm single without any kids and I'm running an operation and I'm able to participate in these discussions and hopefully make a difference.
It's just very interesting to be with like-minded people, and there's a lot of things happening here at NCBA. We've talked about trade, we've talked about policy issues. We just talked about the overall consumer and advocating for the industry. I believe it was 2021, you guys kind of did something pretty impressive and interesting with your operation, correct? Okay, can you share more about that?
Sure. So we were actually the first ranch in the entire world to tokenize a group of feedlot steers and sell them as non-fungible tokens, or NFTs. So for people out there going, okay, that sounds completely a foreign language there. What did she say? And so we gave each steer a unique identifier on the World Wide Web.
Wow.
And along with using a combinations of facial recognition, of genomics, and then market them, as NFTs. And so people could either purchase the beef or they could purchase, an entire animal, and then continue to change that token from individual to individual. So it was a pilot project that had never been attempted before. We had partners involved in it from all over the world.
Looking back on all the years of ranching, still your involvement, what are you hopeful for here in 2024?
I'm hopeful for so many things. I really try to remain positive about the industry and about just the environment in general. And we have so many great things that we're working on in our operation that hopefully to share, with people all over. My neat thing for 2024 is I've got chosen as a Newfield Scholar. So this year's going to look really, really different for our operation.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to be spending about 12 weeks traveling internationally. And my research project is going to be focused on animal health and well-being in other countries that may not have some of the standards that we do here in the U.S. and seeing about how we can implement those standards into those countries.
We've been talking a lot about just women in agriculture and in the livestock industry, and it's encouraging to have men in your life that encourage women to be a part of this and really take on a lead role. So thank you so much for speaking with us today on the RanchHER and FarmHer stage. We really appreciate everything you're doing for our industry.
Thank you much.